Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
How about that rookie? He is something else. How big is that?
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage. Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball. We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, let's go. Thursday show, August 17, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, WoodwardSports.com, Fox2Detroit.com if you're watching live. However you are watching or listening Woodward Sports, we appreciate you coming to you live from 5 Iron Golf at the Cambria Hotel on Lafayette in the great city of Detroit. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Always fun to come to Cambria. Always fun to come to the Cambria Hotel and 5 Iron Golf. This is a great place.
Music's way too loud.
There we go. Jeez Louise.
Holy
I was like, 5 Iron Golf. No, appreciate that. No, always fun to be here at the Cambria Hotel, 5 Iron Golf. Jeez.
The team is back together. The team is back together. Tom Mazaway.
Ears still ringing.
Good afternoon to you, and welcome back, Tom.
Thanks, fellas. I'm back.
Back complaining.
That music was so loud, I forgot Tom hadn't been here in a week. What's going on, Tom? How you doing, boy?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Back in the groove, I guess.
About to get you heart palpitations with that noise.
That's all right.
This guy pulls up, and he's trying to figure out the Detroit City parking meter situation. And he's out there with his app trying to pay for the parking for 12 minutes.
He's out. What are you going to do? I did the best I could.
He was out there for a minute.
Welcome
Not
back,
only that,
Tom.
My parking expires. They won't let you go past 2 hours.
Right.
So it expires like right before
5
our show
minutes
is done.
before the
Yeah, of
show.
course, I will get a ticket then.
Oh, yeah. I got news flash for you, too. Downtown Detroit, there's some cold SOBs when it comes to that ticket. So you're going to get one if you're 2 minutes late.
I'll be fighting it.
Hey, we're expected to be joined by Mike Tannenbaum, former general manager of the New York Jets, former executive vice president of the Miami Dolphins, of course, the general manager that acquired Braylon Edwards from Cleveland to the Jets. He's expected to join us momentarily. Braylon, quickly, though, I want to just overall, we saw the pictures on social media, the videos on social media. A great day for you yesterday in New York at Jets camp, and especially Aaron Rodgers signaling you out and giving you that hug.
Yeah, man, it was fun and surreal. Starting with Olivia, works with community relations as well as the alumni, bringing alums back. She's responsible for kind of getting guys to come back to New York Jets. She's been working with the Jets now, I want to say, since 2019, and I think I did my first event with her there. They do a great job of bringing guys back, having that engagement with the younger guys, but just being back in the fold. First of all, I didn't realize that it was a joint scrimmage. I didn't realize, or joint practice. I didn't realize that it was a big alum day. I didn't know all this was going on, so that was even more of a surprise. And it just was a lot of fun. Mark Sanchez was there. Got a chance to joke with him a little bit, but yes, I did get to see Aaron Rodgers, my 2005 classmate, and once he saw me, it was kind of like a double take. And I realized why he gave me the double take, Ryan. It's because he realized that he was no longer the oldest guy on the field. It was now me because I'm actually 10 months older than Aaron. But it was good to see him. It was really good to just see his energy. Mm-hmm. Like, he just seems at peace. Like, he seems at peace. He seems in control. Like, he knows everybody from player 61 to player 1, like I told you yesterday. So it was fun to be around, man. That energy is real, and it's understood, and it's familiar energy because it's like being in Detroit. Like, the same energy that the Detroit fans have about the Detroit Lions, the New York Jets fans have about New York Jets, and it is a real thing. As good as that defense was last year, you had Aaron Rodgers. He's taking that thing and going in the right direction. So it was great to see that energy. I'm glad I'm supporting 2 winners for a change.
No doubt. We got that video of you yesterday, and Woody Johnson, the owner of the Jets, put it out, and he's like, what did he write? The 3 great guys, I think he wrote. He wrote you, Mark Sanchez, and, of course, Aaron Rodgers. And it looked cool, man. I think he looked at you because he probably thought you were going to be playing. Because you look like you could play.
It's funny. I did see Woody. I talked to him. He actually walked up to me with his gallop. He has his right leg gallop that I love, man. That's why I know he's always coming. But he saw me, and he instantly thought about 2000. You can see 2009, 2010. And so it was very exciting. So good to see Woody. Good to be there. The energy was great, man, and it was fun.
Hey, let's bring him in now. Braylon's former general manager with the New York Jets, former executive vice president of football operations for the Miami Dolphins, and current ESPN NFL analyst, Mike Tannenbaum is with us. Mike, thanks so much for the time.
Great to be with you guys as always. How's it going?
It's going good. How you doing, Mike T?
Good. How was your trip to Florham Park, Braylon?
It was fun, Mike. It was like being back in the old days. You know, I was there. I did an interview right where Rex buried the ball in 2010, so that memory came up. Mark and I talked about it. Mark and I were getting in trouble with everybody at practice, typically like 2009, 2005, but it was good to see that energy. And how about the production? Like, where all these stadium stands come from on both sides? We didn't get that in 2010, man. I feel gypped.
No, we were just happy to be there. We didn't get any of that for our fans. So, hey, build it and they will come, right?
Hey, Mike, talk to me about, you know, when these guys like Braylon or Mark Sanchez go back to, you know, kind of an alumni situation, you know, are you proud? Do you kind of look down as like kind of a little bit of a proud father? You see all these guys grow up to be men after their playing days and come back and still be part of the great organization and remember how special those years were when the Jets made it to back-to-back AFC championship games?
Absolutely. You know, like I always say, I'm privileged to have two children, one who proudly goes to the University of Michigan.
Sir.
Her my checkbook. And, you know, I always said I had 2 at home and 53 in the office and proud of, you know, what they accomplished not only on the field but off the field. And people like Braylon, to see him, you know, thriving post-playing career is candidly like no surprise.
Mike T, switching gears, man. I want to talk about the team because I don't want to take up too much of your time. I appreciate you for coming on. Let's kind of get into the bones of the matter, getting close to the season. You know, I guess we can start with the Jets since I was there. My big thing with the Jets is we know what the defense did last year. We know the running back is back intact. We know what Garrett Wilson is going to be, and it seems like Aaron is that. Is there anything that can derail the New York Jets' chances of making it to the AFC Championship and even further?
I think their offensive line, Braylon, I think there's a lot of question marks about both tackles. You know, Mekhi Becton has a ton of talent. 11th pick overall a couple of years ago, but, you know, can he get through a season healthy? And then Dwayne Brown coming off of a shoulder injury. He hasn't practiced yet. So I think if healthy, they have a shot, a meaningful shot. But the O-line, to me, is a big concern for them.
You know what? Another question I have is in Detroit, for the first time ever, you're starting to see there be so much depth that guys are leaving. Guys can leave, and it's okay. I think you're seeing that with the New York Jets in that backfield. Such a talented backfield. You look at Michael Carter. They signed Dalvin Cook. Breece Hall is now here, and they have a great 5th-round draft pick. What are they going to do with that backfield come season start?
Yeah, it's a really good question. Look, with Breece Hall coming off of injury, you know, ACL injuries, I wouldn't rush it. So I think Dalvin Cook gives you the benefit of time. I think over the course of the season, they have an opportunity for them to all contribute.
Hey, Mike, Tom Mazaway, thanks for coming on with us. We really enjoy your stuff. I want to talk about the Lions a little bit. I know Braylon and I are always talking Jets. Our audience tells us, the hell with the Jets. We want to talk Lions. So I just want to bring it up, and I'm going to bring up a guy that's a sore subject to me, and it's Jameson Williams. I mean, I know the kid, they drafted him with the ACL injury. Obviously, they were going to redshirt him the first year. He did play a few games at the end. Then he gets suspended for gambling. Then he hurts his hamstring. Now yesterday, he pulls his other hamstring. So the way Dan Campbell looks at him is, okay, I guess, we'll see Jameson after week 6 of the NFL season. What's your take on that kid going forward?
I really liked him. I thought that was an outstanding pick when they made it. I thought he was the closest thing to Tyreek Hill. It's not about your time speed, it's about your play speed. And there was a couple plays, one, I believe it was against Ohio State. He outran leverage, and that's really hard to do. I think he has rare speed. And I know things have been bumpy, you know, be it the suspension or now, you know, the injury. But I'll tell you what, I think he has a chance to be really different. And few players in a game of world-class athletes where one guy is 4.38 or 4.41, I don't know. I just think he has a chance to really be special. And he is well worth the patience. Now, look, Amon-Ra St. Brown, who proudly is a partner of ours in the 33rd team, and for all the Lion fans, look, you can get a lot more of Amon-Ra St. Brown at the 33rdteam.com all season long. He's a star, and I think when Jameson Williams comes along, they're going to be really hard to defend.
Hey, Mike, what goes into just being a general manager, and whether a player like Jameson Williams can't get on the field because he's injured, or a high draft pick like a Trey Lance? We all have eyes. It just doesn't seem like he's the pick. What does a general manager go through when you make a draft pick, a high draft pick, and it's just not what you think it is, whether for talent-wise or injury-wise?
Agony.
Yeah.
Agony, in a word. Look, players develop at all different, timelines. In fact, earlier I was on ESPN this week talking about, I think it's a mistake to start Anthony Richardson or C.J. Stroud. The quarterback's a developmental position. Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, the 2 Super Bowl quarterbacks, neither guy started their rookie year. And I think that's meaningful. So I think you have to be patient, and I think you have to be right on the character. And what I mean by that, you got to love football. And if you love football, I think it's going to come for Jameson Williams, and I wouldn't give up on him. And I don't think Detroit would, given that their head coach and GM, were there when they drafted him. So you always look at your process. What did I learn? What could I have done better? But I think we're a ways away from saying anything about Jameson Williams not being a good pick. I was very, very bullish when they made that move.
Hey, Mike, just looking around the NFC for a second, we here in Detroit believe that the Lions can compete for a Super Bowl. This is the third year in a row where they have head coach, offensive and defensive coordinators, just the same staff throughout. How important is that to a team moving forward? You look at Philadelphia, 2 new coordinators. What impact does that have? How slow of a transition is that for a team like Philadelphia compared to Detroit that's got the same staff for 3+ years now?
Yeah, look, I think it's really important. And, that nucleus is together. Look, I know a lot of the guys. We hired Dan Campbell in Miami. He was our interim head coach. He was almost our permanent head coach. Ben Johnson was on that staff. I know Aaron Glenn incredibly well. Aaron was a guy that played for us at the Jets. We hired him as a scout. Mark Brunell played for us at the Jets. I know the building really well. I know the character of the people in that building. I know the leadership of Dan Campbell. I think it's really, really special, and I think they really have a chance to compete meaningfully. Look, I think Green Bay is going to be there with 8 first-round picks on defense, and Jordan Love, who I think is going to play well. But I think the continuity Detroit has, the leadership, this should be an exciting time to be a Lions fan.
Mike T, this is a front office question from your boy. Guys are starting to get older. You look at Amon-Ra St. Brown. Well, he was drafted 2 years ago, but you look at Penei Sewell will be coming up in a year. You look at Jared Goff, his next contract will be coming up a year. From a front office standpoint, because the Lions will be dealing with that, how do you decide, what deals to go after, who to extend first or who to move on, or how does that process go? Because the Lions will be faced with that next year.
And look, those are great, challenges for Brad Holmes, who, let's face it, Brad's done a great job. Again, going back to the Jameson Williams trade, to me, and a whole bunch of others, I'm a big fan of what Brad's done since he's come over from the Rams. And I think part of it, Braylon, comes back to, you got to draft your own and say, hey, is Jared Goff, is he our starter? By the way, I love Hendon Hooker. I think Hendon Hooker has a chance to be a great player when he comes back from his knee injury. And I think how Hendon Hooker develops could be meaningful. And, hey, what's our walk away with Jared Goff? And, then you think about all the other players you mentioned, and then Aiden Hutchinson's a year or two down the road, and you look at Nick Bosa's, deal, and those are great problems to have, and you can't keep them all. And we saw Philly go through that this year, where they lost a guy like Javon Hargrave, a really good player, or Gardner Johnson, ironically, to Detroit. So you're going to be in a situation where a couple players are going to graduate, and candidly, that's a sign of progress.
Hey, Mike, do you have any surprise teams that didn't make the playoffs last year that you think will have a good chance to make it this year?
Yeah, I'm bullish on Green Bay and Chargers in each conference. In Green Bay, again, I'm just a believer that the quarterback position is a developmental one, and I think Jordan Love is going to surprise teams. And then, with the Chargers, with Quentin Johnston, they did make the playoffs a year ago, but I think they're going to be really hard to defend. Quentin ironically reminds me a lot of Braylon, really physical. And I just don't think there's a lot of teams that could match the corners of Mike Williams and Quentin Johnston. And you put Keenan Allen in the slot with Austin Eckler, like, look out. So those are two teams I think are a little bit under the radar.
Mike, AFC East is probably it could be the best division in football. I mean, when you're talking about the Patriots maybe finishing in last place, and I don't know if they will. What do you think of Tua with Miami? Will he last a year? And what's up with New England and Bill Belichick?
I'm never going to bet against Bill Belichick. So I think they have a great defense. I think they'll be able to run the ball. And, I don't think they're going to score like these other teams, but I think they're going to be hard to beat. I think Mac Jones could be Kirk Cousins and sort of like a Matt Schaub type. And Miami and the Jets to me are very similar. Tyron Armstead had a little bump in the road today with an injury. Austin Jackson has had trouble staying healthy. So, the Jets and Miami are very similar. If those teams can stay healthy, they'll put up a lot of points. But it's going to come back to how good is their offensive line.
Mike T, last question, then we'll let you go, and really appreciate it. I wouldn't be doing my job in the NFC North if I didn't ask about one forgotten team. You talked about how you feel about Green Bay. Everybody knows about the Detroit Lions. What about the team that actually won the division last year? That is the Minnesota Vikings, 13-4. Are they in any real challenge to contend again?
I think the Giants in Minnesota have a more likely chance of going backwards than anything. Look, they got Danielle Hunter back, lost to Darius Smith. And without Dalvin Cook, we'll see, can Madison step up and be the guy. I think everything fell right for them a year ago. I do like Kevin O'Connell, but I just like Green Bay and Detroit better, and I see Minnesota the third best team.
Now, does Mike Tannenbaum get a U-Haul and drive to Ann Arbor for move-in week, or how does that work, Mike?
Well, actually, I was hoping to come up there to get my free driver at 5 Iron Golf.
Hey, look at that product placement, genius.
Very good, Mike. Thanks so much, my friend. Hey, anytime you're in Ann Arbor visiting your Michigan Wolverine daughter, please feel free to come on in, and we'll buy you a 5 Iron Golf.
We'll get them squared away.
Yeah, right.
Squared away.
Mike, thanks so much, buddy. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys.
Buddy. You got it.
I parked in your spot yesterday, by the way.
Yeah, Mike Tannenbaum, former general manager of the Jets, executive vice president of the Miami Dolphins, of course, ESPN analyst, part of the 33rd team as well. Great stuff there from Mike Tannenbaum. Braylon, great job setting that up. Got to take a break. When we come back, more reaction. I think the story of the day really is what Dan Campbell said about Jamison Williams. It looks like he is out now through his suspension because he cannot practice any longer because of the hamstring injury. We'll talk about that.
He'll be done for the year.
But first, a message from Planet Fitness.
Oh, wow. Planet Fitness, I wasn't paying attention. I was so into what Mike T was saying. But Planet Fitness is a home, and it's a judgment-free zone. Come in and work out. $10 a month is all it takes to have fun. Be a part of a team that is getting it in. And guess what? Their gyms now, squeaky clean towels and everything is set up. Aqua Hydro chairs are primed, ready for perfection. Why don't you come in and hang out at Planet Fitness? Get your workout on, man. $10 a month.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. and even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
He is something else. How big is that?
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
What's up, 05 Draft? How you doing, bro? It's your guy. Oh, good to see you. Good to see you, man.
How cool is that?
Everybody was asking me online. It was like, would you have traded Mark Ingram for Aaron Rodgers? And I was like, no, it's Mark Sanchez. Like, come on, man. We went to 2 back-to-back AFC championships. I'm milking it. And everybody was like, yeah, you might have won one, though. I was like, no, sticking with Mark. But it was good to see those guys and have fun. I'm telling you, see that energy of Aaron? That's the energy that he has. And that energy that he's providing, it's very key. Because coming into a situation like that where it's $150 million on the table, and he gave some back. And it's a team who wants him. But the players are like, dang, $150 million. How is he going to be when he gets here? What's his energy going to be like? Is he going to be what I heard about him? Is he going to be this? Is he going to be that? So all eyes are on Aaron. So by Aaron just being so cool, so calm, so collected, see the smile on his face, still get after his players, but know everybody, engage with everybody. When you see that, you relax.
When did you retire?
2014.
2014.
Yeah.
How cool is it? Because, you know, it's almost like sometimes with a lot of things, out of sight, out of mind, people move on and things like that. How cool is it 9 years later you get the respect back on that field, especially from probably outside of Patrick Mahomes and maybe even with Patrick Mahomes, the biggest player in the National Football League, Aaron Rodgers. Pretty cool to get that kind of respect.
Look, I'm going to go full disclosure with you guys. Like, when anybody leaves something that they've done for so long, an entertainment value, so a sports space or an actor or a musician, when you leave that space and you start to drift away, and it's like 2 years later, it's 3 years later, it's 4 years later, it becomes 9 years later, you always wonder, and anybody say they don't, they're full of it. They're actually full of it. You wonder, do they still know you? You wonder, do they still appreciate you? You wonder, do they still remember the moments that you shared with those guys? So you hope so, you know, and part of you is like, dang, I hope they remember me. And so when you go out there, there's a little bit of nerves when you come to these events like that. And it was put to ease with fans. They loved me. It was fun. You remember the moments, and you get back to it. And it felt good. I saw Garrett Wilson, number 17, and I saw him. I wanted to talk to him after practice, Ryan, because I got a chance to talk to him last year before the Lions game, but it was quick. It was in passing. It was like, what's up, 17? Go out there, do your thing. So when I got a chance to see him after practice yesterday, this is a guy that I admire. This is a young man that I think is going to be in the top 5 at the end of the season. I think highly of him, have thought highly of him since he was at Ohio State or that school down south. He comes up after practice, and he's like, 17, what's going on? It's the real set. I'm like, giddy for a second. I'm like, dang, he knows who I am. I mean, pause. But it was great to see. Had that energy, had that vibe. We gave a hug, and he grew up in Ohio, so he was a Browns fan. You don't remember these things, but felt good to get that love, felt respected.
And, Maz, that wasn't Joe Schmo blogger taking that video either. That was Woody Johnson.
The owner of the Jets.
That was Woody. Because it was Woody. It was Woody and his son. And then they were talking to Mark. And then Woody and his son pointed out Aaron was coming, so they all went over there and started talking. And then Woody took the phone from his son, started recording, and then kind of like gave me like the nod to go over. And so that's when I went over. Woody called me over. I was trying to let the quarterbacks do their thing and settle in the moment. But Woody was like, man, basically, get over here, 17. So
that's awesome, man.
Refresh my memory. Was he a new owner at the time you were there?
Yes. Like, Woody would have been, I have to look it up. Woody would have been no more than 3 years in.
Right. It was the Hess family.
It was the Hess family,
yeah. Obviously.
It was the Hess family. I want to say Woody bought the team with the Brett Favre, I think right around that Brett Favre year.
Okay.
So it would have been like 08.
And how's the Jets' facilities compared to the Lions?
So here. The Lions opened up Allen Park in, 2003, or the same year as the Ford Fields of 2002. The Jets just opened up Florham Park in the spring of 2009. I got there in fall of 2009. that facility holds up and it stands the test of time. It's just beautiful. The lighting, the glass that they use, where it's at, the location. You know how beautiful New Jersey is, especially around that time of year. Talking about Florham Park, close to Madison, Morristown, the whole. It's just beautiful, man. And they continue to put money on it. They continue to add things. Like when I went there, I saw they reshaped the cafeteria. They redid the locker room to a certain extent. And the training room. That is the one thing in any facility, you got to have a training room that keeps people open. You can't keep old hot tubs forever.
We are live at 5 Iron Golf. We invite everybody to come check this place out. It is in the basement of the Cambria Hotel.
It's the lower level.
Lower level.
It's sexy.
If you like the smell of leather, it is everywhere in this place. This place is gorgeous.
And fresh Callaways.
Listen to me.
Unbelievable.
This is a breathtaking facility. Like when you walk in and you see
gem.
all of the different stations and the space in which you have to hit, you can play any course, just about any course you want. This is a sportsman's haven, right?
Not only just a sportsman haven, like it's off the beaten path. Like people have
sports late golf. Women love the place too.
So I was about to say.
I didn't mean to say it like that.
No, you're good. You take dates here. Also upstairs, the actual hotel is dope itself. A restaurant on the 3rd floor. They got a nice little bar upstairs too. A little sexy vibe. They have a rooftop outside. You got to enjoy that before the summer's over. So this is about to be. It's about to come downtown off the beaten path.
I heard the queso is good here as well.
I'm going to find out when we go to commercial break.
Tom, are you okay here? I know you love golf so much. Are you okay?
I absolutely love this place. I love the smell of leather.
Look at the chair they gave. It looks like he's about to read us a story on CBS.
I know,
like Sunday.
He's like the king.
Wish they would zoom in a little, though. What are you going to do?
Gotta get the big logo in, Tom.
Yeah, just got to get that in, obviously.
Gotta get the logo in. Guys, I'm going to get back on time. Stay right there. Jameson Williams, is he reaching bust status? Dan Campbell talked about JMO and the Amon-Ra St. Brown injuries. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Mark White.
When buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sale process is key. Mark White, they know how to do it all. I actually had a chance to hang out with those guys right here last Thursday at 5 Iron Golf. This is where you want to be. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason without no penalty, or without a penalty, grammatically incorrect. That's exactly what Mark White and Associates offers. It's called the minute-by-minute listing agreement by Mark White and Associates. It's the place to be because we said so.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Hey, it's Sean Jordan from the Sports Marketing Agency, and SMA wouldn't be who we are without our amazing partners.
Thank you so much, Sean. You know, at Detroit Wayne, we want to serve as a resource for you and your families. We offer mental health services, substance use disorder services throughout our communities, and we want to be that source and resource within the community.
If you or a loved one are suffering from a mental health or substance abuse issue, please don't hesitate to call 1-800-241-4949.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Hey guys, how'd you like to play golf like a celebrity? You can do that if you stop at any Randy Wise dealership for your chance to play golf like a celebrity, VIP transportation, and free golf to one of Michigan's best tracks. And right after that, a tasty steak, compliments of Fairway Packing Company. So make the wise choice and get to a Randy Wise today for your chance to win, and keep it right here on Woodward Sports for more of the details.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Woodward Sports on YouTube. Coming up on 50,000 subscribers on this platform. Share the Woodward Sports YouTube page. Hit your social media. Get your friends to subscribe. Let's get to 50,000 by the start of the Lions and Chiefs NFL kickoff game on Thursday, September 7th. Hit that like button if you're watching on YouTube. Go ahead and hit the like button for us. We'd certainly appreciate that. It helps YouTube push our content out to more people. Is Jameson Williams nearing bust status? That was a tweet that was put out. Sharp Football had the tweet. Rough start to Jameson Williams' pro career. Recovers from ACL to play weeks 13 through 17. 37 routes, 9 targets, 1 touchdown catch. Injures hamstring after 1 preseason game. Won't be back now until week 7. Here's Dan Campbell talking about the injuries to both Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown happened yesterday.
Well, I would anticipate J-Mo out for the first 6 games. Saint, I would say we'll get him back anywhere from probably Monday to Carolina. It'll be anywhere in that window.
So it looks like there's a little bit of sarcasm there from Dan Campbell, and looks like
tired of answering it.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, nothing major there. He'll be back at some point next week. The starters will not play against Jacksonville. Some of the backups, some of the rookies will not play against Jacksonville. They get their work in yesterday and today in joint practices against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Guys, is Jameson Williams nearing bust status? We just heard Mike Tannenbaum comment on it. Who wants to go first? Bray?
I'll go first, and I'll go in a different angle than I usually go. Usually I come in, you're talking about Jameson Williams. I played the receiver position. He's a receiver. So I come in, I come in defensive, and I have his back. I'm going to come in and have his back this time just from a logistical standpoint. What? Absolutely what? You just heard Mike Tannenbaum, who is in charge basically of seeing who can still play, who can't, when we can get out of deals early, save some money here and there on players. For him to talk about keeping Jameson Williams, don't hit the panic button on Jameson Williams. You heard what he said. He was the closest to who? The receiver last year that led the league in most yards per game.
Tyreek.
Thank you, Tyreek Hill. So I say calm down, relax. You know the era we're in, 2023. Maz, all they want to do is they want a quick take. They want you to jump on there. They want to be irrational, or they want to try to beat you to the curb of a situation if it doesn't happen for clickbait. This is not going to be a situation like that. My rookie year in Cleveland, come in, get in camp late, and in the second preseason game, hit on my shoulder, clavicle, missed the next 2 games, but missed the next 2 games of the clavicle. Start the season off, played the first game, played the second game, got staffed during the 3rd game, missed the 4th game and the 5th game, and then I came back, had a couple good games, followed by a 95-yard game against Miami, who I hate, had a couple good runs, and then what happens, tear my ACL at the end of the season, December 4th. So you're looking at all this like, oh, man, is this guy going to be a bust? Look at all these injuries. Look at all this stacking up. Came back next year, started the season, played all 16 games. The next year, 16 touchdowns, the rest is history. People just have something. They're just trying to find things to talk about. Like when you're in the media now, like when you're a team that is as big as the Detroit Lions, media-wise, they always want to try to pick and find things to talk about. It's a national team. This is the team. We got to find something to talk about. What's the hot button here? It's Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams is absolutely fine. He will be fine, and that's why Dan Campbell is making light of it by saying, well, we'll see him between now and Carolina, because you would have seen him between now and Carolina anyway. Everybody, once again, press the relax button. Jameson Williams will be fine. You will see once the season starts, or once it starts for him.
I have no belief in Jameson Williams. I had a hard time when they moved up to get him. I'm steadfast. I don't want to draft a guy that's hurt. He's come here and he's done nothing but get hurt again, get suspended. I don't think he puts in the extra work. You hear Dan Campbell speak. He has lots of drops. You saw the stats that Sharp put up, Warren Sharp. Excellent follow, by the way. He has nothing against Jameson Williams. He has nothing against the Lions. He didn't put up as Jameson Williams a bust. I wrote that headline. I don't believe in this guy. He gives me nothing, no reason to believe in him. And it's just me. I don't care. I'm just one person, just like everyone else in the chat, everyone else that's going to listen to us, everyone else that's a Lion fan. Everyone has got their own opinion. All right? They're like doorknobs. Everyone's got one. I don't believe in this kid. I hope I'm wrong.
I really haven't seen anything to say to that. This is his opinion, and he believes.
So one of the things, and when we had Dan Miller on the other day, he was talking about when you are taken this high, first and foremost, you open up the door to criticism and acclaim, this, that, and the other thing. And he brought up a name that I agree with. Spencer Torkelson was so high too, and for the longest time he was not producing, and a lot of us felt like Spencer Torkelson was just not going to be that. He has played himself into being a superstar or into a star. Yeah. Casey Mize feels like that same kind of guy. Yeah. Casey Mize taken with the number 1 overall pick, but injuries just have completely taken him out of the mix. So when you are taken that high, and people like you or people don't like you, but you produce nothing on the field, yet you do open yourself up for criticism. That just comes with the territory. At the same time, you do have that ability to play yourself into a different conversation. Jameson Williams has to play himself into a different conversation. Now, this really stings the hamstring because I do think every rep is important, especially I called this the training camp of Jameson Williams because this was his really first training camp in the NFL. He couldn't play last year. And then the suspension. So he needed all these reps. Is a week and a half of the reps going to make the difference one way or the other? I don't know. But again, he can play himself into a different narrative.
What you just said is Spencer Torkelson played himself into becoming a player you believed in. Casey Mize played himself into a situation you now believe in. Jameson Williams hasn't had a chance to play.
Well, that's it. Mize is not. Mize is still out with the Tommy John.
Okay, well, let's stick with it.
Torkelson played himself up.
Yeah.
He played himself.
Yes.
Jameson Williams got drafted. We knew he was going to miss the whole year. We knew he was only going to play maybe 3 games, and we knew how that was going to be. Then he had to have a whole nother offseason before he can play again. And, yes, the suspension happened, which Mize you've gone on record as saying it's the dumbest thing ever. So don't use it when you want it and use it again when you don't. Like, at the end of the day, yes, you did that. You forgave him for that. He has to play. He has to get on the field. This is training camp. He wouldn't have played next week regardless. It is a tweaked hamstring. This is not a torn Achilles. This is not a torn patella tendon. It's a tweaked hamstring, which guys that run 4.2 tend to get a lot. Look them up. Look at all the wide receivers that run.
But Braylon, you agree with he deserves some criticism for not being
for getting hurt?
I mean, I don't know.
Maybe he wasn't hydrated. Maybe he wasn't stretched out properly. Dan Campbell said it himself. He says, I don't know what happened to him.
Because Dan Campbell is coaching. Dan Campbell's job isn't to worry about if guys are hydrated or not. It's not worrying about those things. His job is when something happens is to respond to it, get some information, and then go over it. At the end of the day with Jameson Williams, everything you're hearing right now is negative. So everything you're going to do is keep piling up. You don't know if it's true or not. And then some of the stuff you get, you start to tweak and make your own assumptions on a situation. Everybody's got to chill until you know exactly what's going on. Until Dan Campbell makes a definitive statement about a situation, don't think the worst is all I'm saying. All you've been hearing is negative about Jameson Williams. So it's stacking. Like, was it negative when he said last week he was the first one on the field? Are we talking about that?
I think there's been a lot of positive talk about Jameson Williams.
And so use that as bargaining chips.
I'm going to make this prediction. He plays 2 games this year. That's it.
And if that's the case, then I think you have that conversation. He is going to have the ability to come back week 7, and he can totally change everything that we're talking about. Spencer Torkelson did. Yeah. Spencer Torkelson for the last year and a half was talked about.
He
took a beating, Spencer Torkelson.
He stood up, and he played every single game. He took a beating, and he's showing now that he's learning, and he learned the game. This guy can't get on the field. So how is he going to learn?
And Casey Mize the same way.
He's not good. He's done. Mize is done.
Killian Hayes has taken a beating too. A 7th overall pick.
I understand.
When guys are taken high, you are expected to perform whether you're hurt or not.
You drafted a guy that had torn his ACL. You drafted him when he tore his ACL. So if you want to be mad at somebody, be mad at the organization. But
I am.
Okay, but it seems like you're mad at him. And that's just where I'm trying to separate. Like, don't be mad at Jameson Williams. He's not the one that told the Detroit Lions to move up 20 picks and draft him at 12. He's not the one that told the Detroit. It's not him. It's not him in that regard. So the injuries, You can't get mad at him for that. It's a part of the game. The gambling, yes. The attitude after the gambling, yes. Some of the lackadaisical things.
That stuff.
I'm just saying the thing. I'm naming the things. The lackadaisical, yes, you can care about those things and you can blame them on him. But getting injured after being injured, you can't. He has technically he has 9 weeks before you're going to see him. Regardless of if he tweaked his hamstring or not, regardless of if he tweaked his ankle or not, it still was going to be the 7th week of the season. So how about we just wait and see the 7th week of the season?
Well, I mean,
we have no choice.
Yeah.
Well, we had no choice before today, or the day before that, or the week before that.
Listen, if this guy is a bust, you know what? It don't matter because they hit on almost every single draft pick. It just would be great if the guy turned out to be the way he's supposed to be. But
I'm just saying,
I haven't seen a thing.
I think we're going on two terribly different extremes here. I don't think he's a bust. But I don't think it's a 100% chance that he's going to be some All-Pro either.
And I agree.
I think there's somewhere in the middle. I think you do open yourself up for criticism, but at the same time, my faith is waning. Let's put it like that.
And you absolutely have that right. I just said the fact that he only got a chance to play 3 games last year.
No doubt.
You draft him when he was out. It's unfair to say before the season even starts, by the way, when he was already suspended anyway, that he's going to be a bust for being an injured guy.
I'll tell you one of the really big hits to the wide receiver room, in my opinion, it looks like Denzel Mims will not make this team. Justin Rogers put a tweet out today. I believe it's a tweet from Justin Rogers where Dan Campbell talked about Mims just being in the room. With the way Dan Campbell has answered questions about Denzel Mims the past week or so, it's getting pretty difficult to project the former second-rounder making the roster. Today's gem, quote, well, he's in there. He's in the room. That's a quote from Dan Campbell today. Mims has not been on the field the last couple of weeks. He is dealing with some kind of injury. I don't know what that is. I've not heard what that is, but he has not practiced in a couple of weeks. So it seems like, you go from Chase Cota, Dylan Drummond, and Antoine Green vying for 1 spot to now those 3 wide receivers vying for 2 spots. Mims was a guy I was really intrigued with, talented kid, but again, can't get on the field.
Oh, well, Maz liked Mims a lot, and he was wrong about Mims, so hopefully he's wrong about Jameson.
I think Maz hopes he's wrong about it.
I'm joking. I'm joking. All I was just saying, let me ask a hypothetical.
Yep.
Let me ask a hypothetical. Could this just be Dan Campbell, and to some extent validated, but it could it be him frustrated at a position? Like frustrated. He's a head coach frustrated at a position. If you're looking at it like everything is the offensive line is going to be great. The running back position is sold up. You got tight ends that you love. You got a tight end 1 that you love that's going to be Sam Laporta. You got an offensive coordinator that is becoming a genius. That's like getting into that new wave of the offensive coordinators in the NFL. You got one position. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's on the precipice of becoming an all-star in this league or becoming a star, a perennial Pro Bowl. But you can't figure out that other wide receiver. You got Jameson Williams, who you drafted at 12. He's always injured. He's nicked up. Denzel Mims has come over. He hasn't been what he's supposed to be. Maybe Marvin Jones is not doing what they thought he would do now. He's doing everything the right way, but maybe he's not balling like they wanted him to ball. Maybe Dylan Drummond, they're looking at him like, damn, if we got to depend on a guy that was an undrafted free rookie, maybe he's frustrated at the whole position and everybody's catching the strays right now.
They're going to get another wide receiver. It might not be anyone really, really good, but they are going to trade or pick up a free agent. There's going to be guys out there, not going to be a 1, 2, or a 3, but they're going to get somebody. They're going to get somebody because they can't go into the season like this. And I know we hear a lot about the tight end, Sam Laporta, but you need another body in there. And if Cota and those other guys are fighting for 1 spot, like the last spot on the wide receiver depth chart, and Mims is not going to make the team because he can't get on the freaking field, then you got to go out and get another wide receiver because that's now the depth position that you're missing. Remember, they went out and got Bridgewater, took care of the quarterback. Now they got to take care of that spot.
That's why when you guys kept telling me that the number 1 offense in the NFL, or they're going to be the number 1 offense in the NFL, they're right there. I always ask that question: who's the other wide receiver? What's the pass again? Where's the explosion? That was the one thing I was nervous about. So we'll see.
We are going to take a break. When we come back, Dan Campbell talking about those wide receivers. On the back end, these guys were not drafted. And I'm not sure it matters if they were drafted. Dan Campbell talks about that. But first, a message from Fairway Packing Company. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing has provided Michigan's finest hotels, restaurants, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks. They ship next day, so you can order online from wherever you are as well. Fairwaypacking.com, fairwaypacking.com.
Source, age, prime, cut, pack to perfection.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Welcome back. 5-Iron Golf here at the Cambria Hotel in downtown Detroit on Lafayette. You can go get a Tony Dog and then come on down Lafayette.
It's right there. It's right
and come visit us at the Cambria Hotel at the lower level of the Cambria. 5-Iron Golf. This place is spectacular. Yeah. You can play just about any course in the country. This place in the fall and winter, you're going to be elbowing people out of the way to make a reservation to get to this place.
Yeah, all right.
Fun place.
Guys, Braylon, I have to tell you, I interviewed The Miz today on Fox 2.
Awesome.
The pool player, The Miz?
No, The Miz. I'm The Miz, and I'm awesome.
Mike Misner.
So tickets for WrestleMania 40 go on sale tomorrow, 2-night extravaganza in the great city of Philadelphia. And so I talked to The Miz, and I asked him about the storyline. I think the storyline now setting up between him and L.A. Knight, I think that's the best storyline in the WWE right now. And I asked him about that, and he was like, I've seen guys like this before. They come and they go. They have their 5 minutes of fame or their 5 months of fame. They have no staying power, and they get out. I've been here for damn near 20 years.
This is true.
And he was going on. It was almost like he was in character. It was pretty impressive stuff, but I think he liked my intro. I don't think he liked me asking him about L.A. Knight, though.
No, he did. I mean, Miz is one of those characters. I mean, there's certain type of wrestlers and characters, and JB, Ryan, you know I'm not lying. There's characters like Ted DiBiase, his character like The Miz, his character like Val Venus, his character like Ravishing Rick Rude. Those guys only care about themselves when they're in character. And I think he was in character, but he's also telling the truth. You look how Mike Misner came up from Cleveland to the real world to you're a joke. He was called a joke for a very long time.
Totally.
So he's got that chip on his shoulder, and he sees another guy that looks like one of those. This guy's a joke. So he's throwing a little something out there, and to see if L.A. Knight is gonna follow up. So, but The Miz, he's earned it because they've called him a joke for a very long time.
Guys, let me talk about continue talking about something we were just discussing regarding the wide receivers and some of these players here who are fighting for jobs. They're fighting for maybe 5, 6 roster spots, maybe at most, that are up for grabs.
Yeah, about 4 or 5.
With the Detroit Lions. Here was Dan Campbell before practice today talking about it just doesn't matter where these guys are drafted, where you're drafted. Now that you have the opportunity, you got to make the most of it. Here's Dan Campbell earlier today.
You have a track record in a 3-year period here. It doesn't matter where you've been drafted, who you are, what it is. If, you got an opportunity. If you want to go earn it, go get it.
And I think that was a direct reflection of what is going on with the wide receiver position. Because you have Antoine Green, 7th rounder. Yeah. You have Chase Cota, undrafted. You have Dylan Drummond, undrafted. But these are guys that if they make this team, they're going to be depended on to make a play, to make a catch. Maybe it's a first down catch. Maybe it's running a route to open somebody else up. Whatever the case may be, if you make this team, you are relied upon to do your job. It doesn't matter if you're a first-round pick or an undrafted rookie free agent.
It's funny we watched that clip, and I hadn't seen the clip. I didn't know the clip, and I made that comment in the last segment before I saw the clip. I said, maybe he's just frustrated at that position. And he's absolutely frustrated at that position. Just think about this way. They took a chance on Amon-Ra, drafted him in the 5th, I believe, and so he panned out. Not every wide receiver you draft in the 5th pans out. Not every wide receiver you draft in the 7th pans out. Not every wide receiver goes undrafted. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. I think. Not every wide receiver you draft at that point, not all of them pan out. And right now they're in a situation where their first-round draft pick, the first-round draft pick, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 5th-round draft pick, he's fine. He's healthy. He's worked out. He's about to be an all-star, or he's about to be a Pro Bowler this year. He's got to be that guy. People around the league are scared. They're watching him. But the guy they drafted in the first round, they took a chance on, a big swing on. He's a guy that's been injured. He's a guy that's been in the media for the wrong thing, per se. It's frustration because now you got all these guys that you're trying to give a chance to, and now they're not living up to their end of the bargain with doing what they're supposed to do. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're dropping passes. Maybe they're not coming to class on time. Maybe they're not watching extra film. Maybe they're getting MAs. Maybe they're jumping off sides of these things. But he's not happy with that position right now, and then everything in that position compounds. When you get anything about Jameson after all this is going on, now it makes you even more angry about Jameson. Wide receiver that you drafted, Antoine Green this year, when he's not doing what he's supposed to be, damn it, another guy that we drafted is not doing what he's supposed to be. You're looking at a team that can be good enough to get to the NFC Championship, maybe even more. That's what we're thinking right now. That's what you're thinking. You're thinking they can be good enough to get to the second round of the playoff. If this is what you see as a coach, you're like, this is where we are. There's one thing holding us back in this freaking wide receiver position. Yeah,
which you thought was the strength coming in, right?
Exactly. It makes you nervous, and now you're nervous, now you sweat, now you get frustrated. These things happen in the NFL or any other sport coaching.
Look what happened with the Titans. How lucky it is that they signed D-Hop. Treylon Burks goes down yesterday in practice. Don't know how long he's going to be out. But to have D-Hop there really looks good. It really would have been nice, and I'm not saying anything about Brad Holmes. He's done a phenomenal job. It would have been great if maybe they had signed a guy like him as that guy. I mean, how nice would it have been to have him? They don't got to worry that Amon-Ra St. Brown maybe is banged up a little bit and he might have to miss some time. And J-Mo, obviously, you don't even think about him. And then the other guys and your wide receivers, it would have been nice to have a guy like that. I'm not sure who's out there right now on the wide receiver free agent list or who's going to be cut, but you're going to see at least one or two guys have to come in here and try to get the ship right.
As I absolutely agree with you, and I see my boy Lucas over there, so I'll say this while he's there. We talked about D-Hop was the guy that we wanted. D-Hop was the guy you could figure out the price point on, just like the New York Jets figured out the price point on Dalvin Cook and what they're going to do this year. You figure out the price point. You sell him on what Detroit is about to be. You sell him on the potential of signing another deal next year with this and then maybe grow the position and be that leader in that room. That's something that we wanted. It didn't happen. Look, Brad Holmes has made a lot of great moves. It's okay to say he missed out on one. And right now I think he missed out on the wide receiver in the free agent space. I don't think it was Marvin Jones Sr. I think it was a guy like D-Hop. I think it may have been somebody else. It's okay to mess up one time. He's still the mad scientist. We still don't know how it's going to go. But it just would have made us feel a little more safer having a guy like D-Hop out there because you know you got D-Hop. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown. Whenever Jameson Williams figures it out, you would have been fine with it because you had that. Now the clock is ticking even a little faster for Jameson Williams because we don't have anybody. And I agree with you on that, man.
And they're going to have to really use, let's face it, Jahmyr Gibbs is now – he's your number one guy on this team. Jahmyr Gibbs is your number one guy on this team. They're going to use him – I pray that he just stays in one piece.
I got a name for you that's still out there at wide receiver. Now, I might have to duck it under this table.
Yeah, I know who you're going to say. Kenny Golladay.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm leaving in 6 minutes.
Kenny Galladay's
out
there.
Him in.
Kenny Galladay's out there. Jarvis Landry is out there. I mean,
Juice.
Do they feel like Dan Campbell type guys? I don't know.
Probably not.
Juice is a Dan Campbell guy because you got to think Juice is a guy that got drafted in the 6th round. Yeah. He was the lowest drafted wide receiver in their class. He had a horrible combine. But what he did in Miami for those first 5 years, what he did when he first got to Cleveland.
And a Miami guy with Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell, exactly.
Yeah.
So he's a guy I will vouch for. Like, he's a guy I will vouch for in that space. Kenny Golladay, look, even if he's doesn't have a team and he's looking for somewhere, and you're like, man, I bet he'll clean his act up now. No, because he got paid. It's even worse. You're going to bring a guy in that turned into what he did in New York, who's already gotten paid, come back to Detroit, because he's going to look at you guys like, look, Detroit needed me. As good as Detroit was, they had to call good old Kenny Golladay to come save the day. Hell no.
Right.
Hell no.
No, he's if no one has taken
Hell
him,
no.
No one has taken this guy. He's literally living on his money. He's like Johnny Football. By the way, I saw that last night.
Yeah.
It could have probably went 5 freaking episodes, but it was very good.
They cut it short on that. I agree.
You know,
Balco came out.
I watched that too. Balco came out?
The Balco came out today.
Oh, man, I got to watch that. So
Barry Bonds and Marion Jones.
This Johnny Football situation really kind of made me sad, you know, because, and I'll tell you why. So, like, we saw Johnny Football, but how many people in life have such a talent, such a specific talent,
was he talented,
that they waste, that they just waste because they just don't want it. They just don't want it. You know, I mean, we've all seen people in our own lives, you know, whether you're a football player or you're in sales or you're this or you're that, you know, they just don't want it. And because they don't want it, maybe they go down a path that isn't beneficial to anything that reeks of success. You know, I felt sad watching that story because I watched the story and it was about Johnny Manziel, but you could have made that video. You could have made that documentary about 1,000 other people, too.
But not as much talent as that kid had.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like a shooting star, the only freshman to win a freaking Heisman Trophy at that point. And the way he was so tight with his friend.
I hated how
I loved how they were together and they did everything together. But then when he turned his back on him, he basically went down the slide, man. He did.
Yeah.
He went down.
Bums me out, too, for that friend.
Yes.
Man, look, 2 things. One, the thing with Johnny Manziel, it bothered me from the standpoint of him being a football player because he was a tremendous talent. He was a cool guy. You saw the other things. But I've seen a million other individuals in the same situation playing football, and they didn't have a rich father to fall back on. They didn't have a name to fall back on. They didn't have a smart friend to fall back on that set things up so Johnny didn't get in trouble. I think it was his sophomore year, and he was able to play. So he's still doing well, so I don't feel bad for him in that regard. But as it relates to what did you say last thing you said, Maz?
About his friend when he turned his back on his friend and went to the other agent, it kind of just went downhill.
That friend, I'm skeptical. And I'm skeptical. Do you remember watching the Aaron Hernandez story? Remember how the Aaron Hernandez friend?
Oh yeah,
this guy was different.
I understand that, but Maz, he tried to basically. It's I don't know. But it seems like in some point of their relationship, he tried to carve a niche for himself.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hey, look, you, this is what I'm deserved. This is what I'm owed. This is what you pay me, and we'll work together. I feel like it was something in there that we're missing in that story before I fully judge.
You're right.
But if it's not that, then he absolutely got what he deserved because he dissed his friend, and then and his career took a hit for it. I absolutely agree with you on that. If it's nothing there, then Johnny Manziel is a you-know-what, and he got what he deserved.
Guys, we're going to go around the NFL next, and the Lions and Jags had a little something nice for Marvin Jones. We'll show that to you coming up. Braylon, are you out of here?
So, good news. I don't know if I'm supposed to be telling this, but, hey, my sister's going down to the court hall today getting married to her fiancé, Cameron. So, she is about to get married right now. I'm excited. And then, so now she's a married woman with a child, so I'm excited, man.
That's exciting, man. So, so get out of here. We'll see you tomorrow, or we won't see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, what are you talking about?
Well, you're playing in the DMAC golf outing.
His outing starts at 9 a.m. though.
Oh,
good.
DMAC's
outing's early.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Before you get out of here, tell me about 5-iron golf.
Oh man, look at this place.
I mean, just look at the place. Look at Maz. Look at the logo behind Maz. Look at what we have going on here. It's dope. I don't even need to read to do it. It's downtown Detroit at the Cambria Hotel. It's in the lower level. It's sexy as I don't know what. They have pool tables, ping pong, bar, recreational. They have everything here. It's 13 simulators. You can play your favorite courses around the United States of America and the world. A lot of fun. Hey, but it's good people. It's good energy. And it's the place you want to be, downtown Detroit.
And can you tell me about Dispo too, Braylon
Oh,
Edwards?
you snuck 2 on me. You son of a you-know-what. Hey, man, it's all about Dispo. We're always there on Fridays. We have a lot of good fun. 12 locations over the state of Michigan. They are 21 and up and recreational only, but it doesn't matter because they have the best brands you will inquire. They have the Hyman. They got the runs. They got everything cooking. You know what it is. It is Dispo, your local plug.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports. The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Hour number 2 of the program here live at 5 Iron Golf at the Cambria Hotel on Lafayette in Detroit. Come visit us on the lower level. This place is spectacular. So many different areas, stations essentially, where you and your group can play 18 holes of golf, maybe even more at some of the finest courses around the country. Many locally here, too, in the great state of Michigan. Braylon Edwards left. His sister is getting married at the courthouse today, so we are in support of Braylon's sister today and thinking about her and the Edwards family.
Yes.
Tom Mazaway, it is great to have you back.
Thanks, buddy.
On the show. And
did you miss me?
I did miss you. I miss you when you're not here.
Likewise.
You know what I mean? I miss you when you're not here. You know, it's part of the team.
I know Parker didn't
like,
miss me, though.
Well, it's like Parker and JB. If one of these guys are not here, which they're always here, so we don't have to worry about that.
Thank God.
But these guys, you know, it's our team. I wanted to play this clip for you. The Lions and Jags both show Marvin Jones a little bit of love here. Take a look at this and let me know what you think.
Say something nice about Marvin. Why I got to say something nice about Marvin Jones? Marvin, No, Marvin, that dude. Glad to have him. Oh, yeah. Glad he's back.
He's our guy.
My guy, Marv, I miss you, man. Love you, brother.
Say something nice about Marvin Jones. You got good hands.
Marvin Jones Jr.
I tell everybody to warm up the right way. Put that blue band around your hips. You warm up on strike to start.
He can sing. He can dance. He can speak Espanol. I mean, it's a lot. He has a beautiful family. He's a great family man. I mean, it's my dog, you know? He's a great guy.
Man, I got a lot of things to say about Marv, man.
This is my first year playing in the NFL without Marv, on the same team as me. That's big bro. A lot of wisdom, man. Best dancer, best singer, best everything. He's the best person, man.
He's got a great singing voice and touchdown celebration.
Marv, I love you. My OG, my brother.
Hell of a teammate, nothing but Marv cakes.
Marvin Jones Jr. is Spanish, El Español. It's amazing. He's an amazing father, husband, friend. He knows how to party.
Agent Zero, great man, great father, great husband. OG triple. Triple.
Triple. People love Marvin Jones.
They do.
One of the really great signings that the Lions have made, I mean, I don't think you can underscore what having Marvin Jones, Tom, is going to do for the Detroit Lions this year. And right now, it seems like he's one of the very few healthy wide receivers out there for the Detroit Lions.
Hey, it was great having DJ Chark here last year. We gave him a chance to show his wares, and he did, especially in the second half of the year. I think that got him his big contract this year. And we wind up with a guy like Marvin Jones, who was terrific here. Hated to lose him. And he played well with the Jags and obviously made the playoffs last year and comes here. And hopefully he's going to bring that playoff experience with him. Obviously, no one has a bad word to say about the guy. And hopefully he can show what he's got. Hopefully he's still got some gas in the tank.
You know, one of the things about training camp that's so different now is just how teams approach it. In week one, we saw – Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes play a series. We saw Russell Wilson play. We saw there was another veteran quarterback that played, and I believe Derek Carr played.
You see what Derek Carr looks like, by the way, now?
A beast.
He has completely changed his body from where he was with the Raiders to now here with the Saints. He's got something to show.
Michael Thomas, too. That's what I was thinking. The Derek Carr, Michael Thomas was playing.
He's got something to prove this year, Derek Carr. I think he could be comeback player of the year, man.
I think New Orleans is an interesting team as well. I mean, they really had a really great year last year without a quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, without a quarterback and without Michael Thomas.
Terrible
in
division.
A bad division. I don't want to say great year. That was a dumb comment to say. But what I'm trying to tell you is that this is a good football team. Add a quarterback to it. Add Michael Thomas to it. And you have a clear favorite in the NFC. What is that? South.
I agree.
Division.
I agree. I picked them to win that division. Now, if Alvin Kamara comes back from his suspension, what's he got, the first 3 games?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so after that, and they're all back together, we'll see what they do. They have a great defense, but they lost. Remember, they traded C.J. Gardner-Johnson last year to the Eagles for some picks, and now we got him. So we'll see how they do this year. I mean, they take a step back defensively with a couple of picks, but offensively they take a couple of steps up.
Going back to my original thought, as I'm all scatterbrained here, just the way they do training camp now. Dan Campbell announced today that no starters will really play against the Jags on Saturday, 1 o'clock.
That's the throwaway game almost.
Yeah, it is. And
it used to be the game.
Some of the rookies, probably Gibbs won't play, probably Campbell won't play, probably Laporta won't play. But nonetheless, they're getting their work in. They're getting their reps in during the week in these joint practices. And I'm curious to see how these things evolve because we have seen all around the league, Maz, these fights that are occurring at these joint practices. Yep. The Jets actually reportedly backed out of the second practice with the Bucs.
But in reality, they did not.
There was a scheduled back out?
It was a scheduled back out. We could put that tweet up if you do have it, Parker. It was on the first page. Jets reportedly back out of a second practice with the Bucs. The Giants have stepped up today and gave them their practice facility, which is right next to Giant Stadium, the Meadowlands. There, MetLife Stadium, whatever you want to call it these days. But supposedly they had a tweet out. It was Rick Stroud, who was the Buccaneers PR guy, a Buccaneers beat writer for a long time. He's like their Dave Burkett. And he wrote a couple of weeks ago, the Jets are only scheduling one practice with the Buccaneers. And now today they put it out, the Jets have backed out on the Buccaneers. But in reality, they did not. This was a scheduled 1 day only. So Braylon got to see him for the 1 day. Got to see my man Baker Mayfield.
Right.
Throw a couple more interceptions and Kyle Trask as well, man. How nice would it be to tap on the Buccaneers? They're not going anywhere this year. not going anywhere this year. What's Mike Evans worth to you guys?
No kidding,
What's
right?
Mike Evans worth to you?
Probably a first-round pick. But did you see your guy, Micah Parsons?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he had 3 quick jabs on that player before.
I've got the video of the Dallas Cowboys infight. I mean, they fought against each other. I don't have the video of Micah, the second video of him.
Oh, you do have it. Is that from Dove?
Yeah.
Do we have that, Parker? The Cowboys fight? Take a look at this fight. Take a look at Micah Parsons.
If you see towards the end of that video to the back right, Micah Parsons breaking off from that pack and throwing 3 quick right hooks in and then backing out, and then they kind of saved them from that. So I don't know.
That was the Cowboys against the Cowboys.
Yes.
That wasn't a joint practice.
No, that was Cowboys versus Cowboys.
Oh, my gosh. Can you imagine breaking a hand in a skirmish like that?
Oh, my God. I don't know why he did what he did.
What a
that's a
dummy.
That's a dumb thing to do. You're punching a helmet?
Did you see Hard Knocks last night?
I didn't watch it yet.
Oh, man. Hard Knocks last night, there were 2 nights ago. Aaron Rodgers was talking to one of the defensive players who threw a punch to the helmet. And he said, that doesn't hurt your hand when you punch in a helmet or something like that.
That's just dumb.
It is.
It's dumb. Did you see him sneak up on his old coach?
Yeah.
His chubby old coach for the Panthers?
That's so
and he
good.
says, he called him a fat bastard.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is so awesome as a member of the Jets. It's so cool. Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll go around the NFL. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. That's right. Les Stanford has expanded into Ferndale, a trusted name for over 55 years. Les Stanford has the same great service that customers have come to know with Les Stanford Buick GMC. Go check them out on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. And, of course, if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been for over 55 years on Michigan Avenue. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella, LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching live on fox2detroit.com, we say hello to you. Maybe you're watching on Tubi, the Fox local app on Roku. However you are consuming Woodward Sports, we absolutely appreciate you. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button for us. Let's get to over 100 likes by the next 2 minutes. How about that? And subscribe to Woodward Sports. Ryan Ermanni, Tom Mazaway, Braylon Edwards was here, hour number 1. He is skedaddled out of here. His sister's getting married at the courthouse today. Great day for the Edwards family. Great day for his sister. And Braylon is going to be a part of it. He'll be back tomorrow. I want to say hello to JB and Parker over here, our main man Lucas. The guys over there. We've got Spenny over there. We've got Tim McCollum.
Brady.
We've got Brady. They're playing the little 5. What course are you guys playing? St. Andrews.
Ooh.
They're playing St. Andrews. How cool is that? You can come. You can play just about any course in the world.
How windy is it?
You can play just about any course in the world. The space to be able to have a group, have your own kind of area, a little bit of a heaven, really. For
even if you don't like golf. You could. They have couches and chairs. Everything is beautiful, brand new leather and plush. And I just want to come here and just take a nap.
I know you got a few bars here on the level. You got ping pong. You've got what's the game where you shuffleboard? Yeah, that's great. I used to play that.
I could dominate shuffleboard.
Really?
Yes. It's got the bowling skill in it.
Oh, my gosh.
That bowling skill.
Hey, speaking of bowling, Maz, we rode here together today, and I saw your bowling bag in the back of your car. Your bowling bag is like this, I thought it was like a suitcase.
Well, no, it's just a 3-ball carrier.
A 3-ball carrier?
It's just a 3-ball carrier.
You have 3 balls in that carrier.
Yeah, and I got, there's 3 more back at at my old house there at Harbor Lanes, but I'm traveling this weekend doing the Drew and Mike podcast as a charity for Kirk Gibson. And
why do you need 3 balls?
To beat Parkinson this Sunday.
Why do you need 3 balls?
Well, it depends on one is for like an oily condition. One is for a dry condition. And the middle one is for my spares for the 10-pin. So it just goes nice and straight.
Oh, my God.
I still miss them, though.
Yeah. You better not miss them in front of Gibby.
I know. Gibby put a challenge out to me. And he's a goodie. He's a lefty. Ball hooks for him. And Rosie will be there. Roseman will be there. And who else is going to be there?
Goose Gossage.
Goose Gossage is going to be there.
Alan Trammell.
Alan Trammell going to be at Bolero on Sunday for the Kirk Gibson Strikeout Parkinson's charity event. Looking forward to it.
No doubt about it. Great article by Bob Winowski in the Detroit News earlier today on Kirk Gibson. I did I think a really good story with Kirk as well for Fox 2.
Hey, Gibby.
And it was great to spend some time with him. He's really trying to make a difference when it comes to Parkinson's. You know, the life expectancy, if you have Parkinson's, is just the same as anybody that doesn't have Parkinson's. So your life really is about staying moving. It's about improving your day-to-day activities.
And we see Gibby all the time.
Absolutely.
He comes into Lady Jane's,
Absolutely.
get cleaned up. And, Michael J. Fox is a great spokesman for it as well, still working. And these guys, they are so integral to to beating that disease. Obviously, Muhammad Ali did his best in his fight as well.
No doubt. All the awareness that we can bring to that Kirk Gibson Foundation and the Strikeout Parkinson's is something we'd like to do here at Woodward Sports. Tom Mazaway, let me go around the NFL with you because this was really cool, something that Tua Tagovailoa did in Miami. I tried to repeat it back to you. You're going to listen to it as well. I tried to repeat this back, and I couldn't do it ever.
This is Tua talking football language to the Miami beat writers.
I can give you guys a play, and then if you guys want to repeat it after me, as if you guys were in the huddle, you guys can. All right. Should I go once or twice saying it? Once. Once? All right. We got North Right Clamp, South Fox, H-Top, Pass 38, Top Gun, BXP, Sweat. Let's go. Anyone?
I got North Right on Clamp. I got sounds like a false start.
Yeah, sounds like a pre-snap penalty to me. Oh, my gosh.
Listen, if there's a guy to root for, it's this guy. What a great personality he has, and he's got a lot of talent. And it was a guy that I think most Lion fans wanted us to draft a few years ago. And he's got to suffer through all these concussions and all these other issues that he's got in his career. I just hope. And we saw the scary situation last year happen against the Bengals on that Thursday night. And I hope to never see that again. And I hope he stays healthy. He has been taking judo to learn how to fall. He's got a special helmet, quarterback concussion saving helmet that they're giving most quarterbacks. I think that's what Aaron Rodgers is wearing. That's where he looks like it's the great Gazoo from the Flintstones. That helmet, it sits up higher. And if you remember, well, way back in the 90s was a guy named Mark Kelso of the Buffalo Bills. Maddie is calling me. I'm on the air. Maddie, come on, honey.
Hi, Maddie.
Don't call him. Don't call Dad now. Anyway, Mark Kelso wore this red Bills helmet, and on top of it was another pillow,
like a
almost.
squish pillow.
A squish pillow with the same logo and everything. Look up Mark Kelso on Google today when you get a chance. But I just hope that Tua can make it through the year and have a successful year. But that football language, I always tell, when I'm watching a game, I'm always listening. And I'm like, geez, man, it's like learning Latin.
It is like learning a language. And one of the things about the quarterback series on Netflix, whether it was Kirk Cousins studying the play calls alone or having Marcus Mariota's wife recite the plays to Marcus Mariota,
Isn't that great?
Call the plays in and have Marcus Mariota call the plays back to her. Like you're an offensive coordinator with the green dot, and you call the play in, and the quarterback has to relay that play to the huddle. Can you remember what is told to you when you hear a play like north wind right, Gumby 2 times, 84, 78? Listen to this.
Right.
Give me the play again. Just give me the play again. Give me the play again. 1 sec, gang. I screwed my guy here. That's on me.
I like here's Peaceful Tim on the chat. Nobody wanted him, Maz. We wanted Herbert. Okay, yeah, sure.
That is just not true.
Yeah.
Like everybody can have an opinion. Like people can blast you for the Jameson Williams, and that's fine.
Yeah.
When you make statements like that, you open yourself up
absolutely
for anything. But when you make a statement like that,
nobody wanted him?
That's just flat out untrue. There is no truth to that. Here's Tua, the play call once again. Can you remember
I can
it?
give you guys a play, and then if you guys want to repeat it after me, as if you guys were in the huddle, you guys can. All right. Should I go once or twice saying it? Once? All right. We got North Right Clamp, South Fox, H-Top, Pass 38, Top Gumby, XP Sweat. Let's go. Anyone?
Nobody. I just think that is so cool to hear that.
It is.
I
dig it, man. I wish I could do it.
And the thing with Tua, one of the reasons that you root for Tua, among many, it's so hard to understand how people could have such a negative opinion about Tua because all he's done at every level he's been at is win.
Yep.
He's been a winning quarterback for the Miami Dolphins.
Yep.
He won at Alabama. Hell, he overtook Jalen Hurts. He got Jalen Hurts out of there.
He won a national title for him. Yeah.
And how people could have any negative opinion. Oh, he can't play. Oh, he can't throw the deep ball. The guy's a winning player. And I think at that quarterback position, that's all you can ask for.
That's it, man.
Be a winning player. And not one person here in Detroit wanted Justin Herbert over Tua Tagovailoa. I'll let you say anything you want. And it looks like Justin Herbert is, that guy right now, just in that upper echelon. The numbers speak for themselves. He's got Dan Marino-type numbers his first few 5 years in the league or whatever it is. But not one person wanted Herbert over Tua when that draft was coming down.
There's probably a few that wanted him, and he was a terrific – I wanted a quarterback. That's that pick. But obviously, me and you. We always want a quarterback, right?
Right,
and
no doubt.
They took Jeff Okudah on their last leg. Let's face it. They were both on their last leg, and unfortunately, it just didn't work out.
There has been a superstar that has turned down the Super Bowl halftime show. We'll talk about that. I thought she was a lock, to be honest with you. But we'll talk about that. Who do you want to see in that Super Bowl halftime show? We invite your comments in the YouTube Woodward Sports chat as well. Let us know what you think. But first, a message from Cintron.
All right, let's get you Cintron. They got a heck of a thing going on right now. How'd you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win the $100,000 Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas. Buy Cintron at your local Meyer stores. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with the great taste and the choice of people who desire to look good and feel great and the best version of themselves. Check it out at drinkcintron.com/Vegas.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports. Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Hey, it's Maz for our friends at the Academy of Warren with the new state-of-art Sports Dome Fieldhouse that a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. It could also be used for 7-on-7 football. The Academy of Warren features K through 8 with AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, the Learning Street, free breakfast and lunch, academic games, K to 8 athletics. And don't forget us guys. We're going to be broadcasting from their carnival next week, August 24th. Come meet the staff and explore your child's new school. The Academy of Warren is now accepting new enrollment at go-to-academyofwarren.net.
Ladies and gentlemen, I thought it was an absolute shoo-in for Taylor Swift.
She's too busy
to be the halftime act at the Las Vegas Super Bowl. She has declined to perform at the 2024 Super Bowl halftime show. Thought it was an absolute lock. Apparently,
what are you clapping your hands for, guys?
Apparently,
she's good. You don't want to see her? She's good looking.
Apparently, she is going to be part of, the Eras Tour will be in Tokyo, Japan on February 11th. The Super Bowl is February 9th.
Yeah.
She says she is not coming back to the States to perform at that halftime show. Ed Sheeran has come out and said that he doesn't believe he's big enough to be on the stage for the Super Bowl. He says if there was somebody else involved that you could pair up with, he'd probably be interested, but he did not feel he deserved to be on that platform.
There's a couple other people that are coming up to the forefront.
Who?
Miley Cyrus.
I saw this.
And
this
Harry
would be
Styles.
A disaster.
So how about Miley Cyrus?
Just a disaster.
Harry Styles and the redhead.
Who's the redhead?
Ed Sheeran.
Oh.
I forgot his name. I was hoping he would just throw it in there.
Miley Cyrus is a hard no for me. I've got the answer, though.
She's okay.
Listen to me. I've got the answer. You guys ready for this?
What? The Osmond brothers?
Nope. You guys ready?
What?
Wayne Newton. Wayne Newton. Elvis Presley. Usher. Get the biggest Las Vegas acts.
Well, Donny Osmond.
People like the long-standing shows that people go to Las Vegas to see, make them be the Super Bowl halftime show. You've got Wayne Newton. You could do an Elvis impersonator. You could do Usher. Usher's got a hugely popular show in Las Vegas right now.
Celine Dion used to, but she's ill.
Yeah, she doesn't anymore. Yeah. Adele she's just too sad for me.
Yeah.
Like Adele sings too sad of songs for me. I don't want the Adele people to come for me. She's fine, but it's just too sad. That's what I say. Little Wayne Newton, little Elvis Presley.
I like what you're going.
A little Usher.
By the way, Elvis Presley yesterday passed away.
Unbelievable.
On this day, way back when, and was it 78?
70, before I was born. I don't know.
Man, I'll never forget that day.
Maybe it was earlier than that.
God bless the King.
How about that, the King?
I love what you're going. I like the Las Vegas themed shows.
That's what you got to do.
Could have been Siegfried and Roy, but that's all done as well.
Then the tiger happened, right?
And the tiger happened.
Didn't the tiger eat Siegfried?
I think so. He ate one of them.
So let's see. Jack Harrington says Elvis is dead. Ryan, I know Elvis is dead.
Jack.
But the impersonators, Usher, yes, Usher has a hugely popular show in Las Vegas. Thank God Lizzo did not get it.
Thank God.
Snoop, I could see a repeat Snoop.
No more Snoop.
No more Lady Gaga can't do it. She was already done. Rihanna is just too recent. Cher, no thank you.
Bring back Bruno Mars. I saw him in Jersey. He's phenomenal. Bruno Mars. I know he's not hot
Bruno
right now.
Mars would be fantastic. I think he is as entertaining as anybody.
He's one of the best.
He's one of the best actors. Drake could be good.
How about Elton John one last time? Elton John.
But he's got no affiliation to Vegas. I think if you're going to go old school like that, you need some sort of affiliation to Vegas.
Okay.
You know, like kind of maybe even like a Rat Pack tribute group or something like that.
I would love that.
You know?
Oh, man, would I love that.
I'm just throwing ideas out.
I was jamming Sinatra back in Jersey. I was laying in the pool and had some Sinatra on.
Really?
I did.
Talk to me about your Jersey trip. We have not talked about that. What was going on in Jersey?
Oh, it was just fun to see the family. Lots of pizza, lots of family time. My niece Alex is getting married in November, so we had her bridal shower. Couldn't go to the racetrack with Dad this time, but it's okay. We had a lot of good family time. Then I went down to Jersey Shore on Monday. Went to Point Pleasant with
Did you see Snooki in the Situation?
No, because we didn't make it to Seaside. We made it to Point Pleasant. It's like a half an hour sooner, half an hour closer.
Oh, that Jersey Shore is a long way.
Yeah, it's a long way. So
how big is the Jersey Shore?
Oh my God, it goes from Asbury Park all the way past Atlantic City.
Really?
Yeah, it's a long way to Philadelphia. It goes all the way down to Philadelphia. No, it's fun, man. It's a great time, and I love going home. And again, I'll be heading home back in November. So usually I only go a couple times a year. This year I'm going like 4 or 5 times with all these parties.
Sammy Maz is getting older.
Sammy Maz is getting more hard of hearing. My father refuses to use hearing aids, of course. I don't like anything in my ears. I can't. Meanwhile, he's just sitting there, and he can't hear the conversation. And but he's in such good shape, my father. If he could only see and hear, he'd be perfect. He's going to be 96 in September.
Wow.
And he looks like he's 75 years old. Honest to God. I mean, God bless him. And Claire is hanging in there as well. He's got sick. It's like my family is like the Costanzas. If you watch Seinfeld, Mr. and Mrs. Costanza, that's my parents.
Your mom's always yelling at your dad?
Always. Because she thinks everyone babies him. My sisters love on him. He was talking on the phone. He could hardly hear. And he's like, yeah, I wasn't feeling that good. Then you'll hear my mother from the back of the room. He's not sick. It's a clown
now, do
show.
your sisters baby you?
My sisters, no, they don't baby me, but they love on me. They do. They do. They take care of their big brother. They do.
Oh, I love it. One of my life's goals is to go back to New Jersey with Tom one day.
Oh, I went home, and I went to my hometown pizza joint.
Which is what?
Well, it's Roma Pizza on Kennedy Boulevard, and then I like Benny Tadino's in Hoboken.
You got to go to Hoboken.
Minutes. Yeah, we did both. But when I walked into the one in North Bergen, the guys look, Tommy, it's the summer, because they always know I'm coming in the summer. They know I'm coming at Christmas. They just put the slices in. It comes out. It's the best freaking slices ever, man.
Now, did you go sit in the Tony Soprano booth?
I didn't go to Holston's.
That's 2 times.
I didn't go to Holston's. I will go in November.
That's 2 times now you've been to Jersey that you haven't sat at Holston's.
I'll go to Holston's.
Come on, Maz.
November.
Look at this guy.
Hey, what are you going to do? Give me the gabagool.
Give me the gabagool. Guys, a couple more NFL stories I want to hit you with, and then Donovan Edwards is an extremely confident running back for the University of Michigan. Like it, love it, hate it. I want to get to that coming up. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. You can walk in any Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not 1, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, 1 for you, your wife, your girlfriend, your best bud. Whoever you want to give it to, Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. You could walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Hey, gang, want to tell you about Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts and have been for over 90 years. When you see this black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Ask for Jason.
Guys, I want to show you this clip from Jalen Carter, okay?
Uh-oh.
This is the clip that Jalen Carter. One play.
Uh-oh.
Okay? One play he makes in the preseason, and he is God's gift. He is the absolute can't-miss player. Here it is.
He does look like it, though. Well, up there you go.
All right, no audio. That
Let's
was
do it
his
again.
first play in the NFL.
Look at this.
First play in the NFL
He's a
in the
heat-seeking
preseason.
missile.
So one of the things, I heard one of the national guys talk about this play.
Bad block by the O-lineman, by the way.
And I forget which one it was, but he was spot on. The talent for Jalen Carter has never been in question. He was the most talented player in the 2023 NFL draft, and I'm not sure anybody even thinks it's close. Can Jalen Carter stay out of trouble?
I think so.
I think so, too. I hope so. But that is what the question was that all 32 general managers had to ask themselves. Well, really, only 7 general managers needed to ask themselves, because what was he, the number 8 overall pick for the Philadelphia
so. 8
Eagles?
or 9.
So
Lions were sitting at 6 at one point.
So the first 7 general managers did not want to take the risk. At least, I mean, look, you have an opportunity to take the most talented player in the draft, and you pass on him, you have questions. I will say this about Jalen Carter. Now that I know what I know about who you get, okay, would you rather have Jalen Carter and I guess we don't know what player that would be, because
I bet you it would be Jack Campbell.
Maybe Jack Campbell would have been gone by then, because they traded up. They got that extra pick earlier
than Gibbs, or Gibbs would have been gone.
I would rather have Gibbs and Campbell
than Carter.
Than Carter and X.
It's a tough call, but right now I'm going to agree with you, because I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be unbelievable. I rewatched the game last night because I missed it. I saw some of it on on Friday night from New Jersey, because it was on the Giants network, WPIX in New York. So I got to watch some of the game, but I was in and out with the family and all of that. So I watched it last night before the tornadoes watches started taking over. And I just saw the way they were using him and how he looks and how he picks up blocks. I mean, the kid, he looks like a sure thing. He does. So if you're going to ask me about Jalen Carter, Jahmyr Gibbs, I'll take Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell right now over Jalen Carter. Right now.
Right now, and I think that's what we're going on. Look, Jalen Carter can go on and have a Hall of Fame career, and Jahmyr Gibbs could be on a different team in 5 years.
Hope not.
We hope not, but that could be the case. I just think for what this team is right now, and especially on offense, right, the Detroit Lions, I think for as talented as they are offensively, for as much offensive love as we give them, I think with Amon-Ra St. Brown on an ankle, Jameson Williams out for the first 6 games, Denzel Mims not being able to play, I think this offense needs Jahmyr Gibbs more than the defense needed Jalen Carter.
Agreed.
Does that make sense to you?
Perfect sense. Perfect sense, because I believe that he will be their number one option. Not the other running backs, not David Montgomery, not the tight ends, and not the wide receivers. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be your Barry Sanders.
And not only that, but
Alvin Kamara.
But you throw Laporta in because, with all these trades and with these different picks, if you stay at 6 and select Jalen Carter, you're probably, maybe you're not, trading back up into the first round. Maybe you're trading back. I just don't know what the scenario would be. We can play this hypothetical all we want, but if you're telling me you could get Gibbs, Campbell, and Laporta, I'm taking that all day over the one player.
Oh, yeah. There's not a doubt. Now you're adding Laporta to the mix?
Right.
I already was going to 2 over to 1. If you're giving me 3 over to 1.
Well, I'm giving you the 3 over. I'm giving you the 3 and 1 extra. I guess you'd have to look at the range of 20. Would it be a Kalijah Kancey? Would it be somebody like that? Would you double down on the defensive line and get a player like that? They did pass on him.
Kancey went the next pick.
Yes, he did. Would it be another offensive lineman? Would it be a wide receiver? We just don't know what that selection would have been. But at the same time, I feel so good about what Brad Holmes has done in evaluating players. He has done this almost perfectly.
Yes.
And I say that almost perfectly. He has drafted in his 3 years. He has probably had the greatest 3-year stretch of draft picks, certainly in Lions history.
Facts.
Certainly in Lions history.
Unless they go back to the early 90s, which they were pretty damn good then, too.
But they didn't get those results either. And those unbalanced schedule. Look, the Lions go 12-4, so they play a tougher schedule in '92. And what do? What do they go 5-12 or 5-11?
Yeah.
And then they go 5-11, and then they come back in '93 and win the NFC North.
I know.
It was that every other year scenario with that football team, because the better record you had, the stronger your schedule was the following year.
Yep.
The worse your record was, the weaker your schedule was the following year.
Yep.
So in the 90s, they made the playoffs every other year.
Chris Berman used to call Wayne Fontes Rasputin because you can't kill Wayne Fontes, he used to say.
When they make the playoffs, 91, 93, 95, 97, and 99?
They made it the most of any team in the 90s. The Lions did. Mike O'Hara always comes up with that stat.
Isn't that something?
It's amazing. You forget about it, but they did.
It is incredible. The other topic that I wanted to get to in the NFL, this Washington Commander name change is picking up steam, and I don't know how to feel about it.
I do.
You
I do.
Yeah, I know.
I never wanted to change Redskins. If you want to take the Indian head off of the logo, go ahead.
So the rumor is that the Washington Redskins are trending again. A Native American group is demanding that the Washington Commanders reinstate the Redskins name. There are over 100,000 signatures on this petition on change.org, and it is a Native American group that is leading the charge. They want to reclaim that name as the Washington football team. I almost feel like something like to me, I didn't know anything about this until about 10 years ago. About 10, 12 years ago, you started hearing these rumblings. When the head coach of the Washington Commanders comes out publicly and says, yes, in the locker room, we call ourselves the Redskins, not the Commanders.
And the new owner, Josh Harris, mentioned it probably 5 times in his introductory press conference.
I'm so uncomfortable with just talking about it, to be honest with you. But
that's because you've been beaten down so much that you're afraid to do it and say anything.
Well,
it's a fact.
It's just I don't know how to feel about that. This is a Native American group that's leading the charge.
I just never thought it was a slur to begin with. It was a sports nickname.
The head coach and the owner use that. I guess. What's it my business then?
In reality, I really don't care anymore.
Right.
I just don't. I wish they were still called the Skins, but if they're not, it's okay. It's no skin off my back.
Yeah, either way, but over 100,000 names on that petition. We'll see where this is going to go. It will pick up steam. I don't know the sentiment locally in Washington. How it feels like such a political topic now.
Yeah.
That I just don't have the temperature of the room in Washington, how they feel about it.
I'm sure the current regime would probably be against the name, and I'm sure other people if at worst, I think it's 50-50, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's that worse. I think it's 70-30 that they'd rather have the Redskins.
Maybe.
The name. It is. It's always the squeaky wheel that gets the oil, right?
And I think one of the things that the owner was saying, too, at the introductory press conference was, and I had trouble with this, so in the next week or two, I'm doing a story for Fox 2 where I'm taking a look back at the 1991 Detroit Lions season because so many people call the Detroit Lions 1991 season, obviously, it's the best era, best year, best single season in the Super Bowl era for the Lions. And what they did that season was they played the opener against the Washington Redskins and the closer, the NFC Championship against the Skins. And I left that word out of the story. But you can't help when you see the video to see those helmets.
Yeah.
And that was the name in the end zone.
Yeah.
And the owner of the Washington Commanders has said these players played for the Redskins. They did not play for the Commanders. No. That's who they played for. And I think it's okay when you go back to say, Joe Theismann wasn't the Commanders quarterback. He was the Redskins quarterback.
Jim Thome played for who?
Yeah. Jim Thome played for the Indians.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Not the Guardians.
No.
So when you use it in that, I don't know.
If you're doing a history lesson, you're saying, oh, yeah, he played for the Commanders. Mark Rippon was the commander. What? Mark Rippon played for who?
Right.
He played for the Redskins.
I wish they'd just go back to football team.
No,
I think that is the greatest nickname in the history of sports.
It's not soccer.
Washington football team is the greatest nickname in the history of sports.
Then be Detroit football team.
Nope. It's Washington football team. How many times did I say football team?
It's horrible.
Oh, my God, there's nothing better.
It's WTF.
Guys, I want to get a Donovan Edwards topic in next. This guy is as confident a player as we have ever heard speak for the Michigan Wolverines. And I want to get a quick thought on the Tigers from Tom Mazaway. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Big Boy.
All right, Strawberry Fest is continuing this summer at Big Boy. Start your day off with a great breakfast, the strawberry hotcakes, the mouth-watering red velvet waffle. And if you want some brunch, how about the strawberry bacon chicken wrap or the refreshing summer splash salad? Don't you dare leave without those great desserts, the classic strawberry pie, the mouth-watering vanilla Oreos. That's right, they're deep-fried. Or you got the strawberry hot fudge cake. All that, and you can order a Big Boy while you're at it. Tell them Maz sent you to your local Big Boy.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney. Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, gang, I am not Darren McCarty. I cannot do a commercial like Darren McCarty.
Nobody can.
But he did a good one for Outdoor Equipment Company. You got to check it out. But let me tell you about Outdoor Equipment Company. In the meantime, your childhood may be over, but playtime is not. Clearly for DMAC it wasn't. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment. They carry the top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor, Steel, and more. Sales, service, parts, they've got it all. Servicing the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more, visit OutdoorEquipCo.com. OutdoorEquipCo.com, your power equipment playground. Live from 5 Iron Golf in the Cambria Hotel here in downtown Detroit on Lafayette. This space is spectacular.
It truly is.
The guys over here were just playing St. Andrews, having a good time. Leather couches, ping pong tables, shuffleboard, bars, food galore, drinks all over the place. This is just an incredible place. A grand opening tonight. Come out, visit, make a reservation. Come check it out.
That's
5 Iron Golf
Brown.
at the, of Jason Brown fame over here. Absolutely. We love Jason Brown with Woodward Sports. Tom Mazaway, I got a hell of a story to tell you. This is the greatest story I've ever heard in my life.
It is pretty cool.
Donovan Edwards, okay? This guy puts this, James T. Yoder says that an anonymous Ohio State player said of Donovan Edwards, quote, he walked in our locker room pregame and walked right by me. And I'm like, what the hell is coming in our locker room for? What the hell is he coming in our locker room for? And he just walked by me. He tapped Latham Ransom on the leg and said, lace him up. It's going to be a long bleeping game. This is the greatest story I have ever heard in the history of the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry.
This was last year.
Yes. And not only that, but he had one of the greatest performances in a Michigan-Ohio State rivalry.
He sure did.
I love this kid. I don't like him. I love Donovan Edwards. This guy plays with a swagger that is unmatched by anybody in the history of Michigan, at least in the 2000s.
Exactly. This has not been a receiver that had 1,000 yards yet.
This guy is awesome.
Now, how do they let him in the locker room?
It's just right across the hall, man.
I know, but you got to have big cojones to just walk in a visiting locker room like that.
You walk in like you own it.
Now, is he in uniform?
Probably a tank top and probably the pants.
Wow. He's lucky he didn't get in a fight.
Yeah. He did all his fighting on the field. Great story. I love that.
Story.
I just wanted to share that with you.
I got a little something on Jim Harbaugh, too.
Please.
Jim Harbaugh, he spoke to the media, and Jim Harbaugh, how happy he is most of the time. And he wants most of his players to be so happy.
Yep.
So he talked about Chris Jenkins.
Yep.
And he has given him the defining enthusiasm to, I don't remember the words exactly.
An enthusiasm unknown to mankind.
Listen to Jim Harbaugh on his favorite player, Chris Jenkins, this year at least.
It's to the point where, and I had to make a poster person for who I thought was the most, who really defined enthusiasm unknown to mankind. And I looked at every player, every coach, even considered myself. And, by the power vested in me, as the head coach, the poster person for enthusiasm unknown to mankind for the 2023 year is Chris Jenkins. And I made a nice little sticker, EUTM, It's now on the helmet, and he's not the only one who has it. We've given some others out, Blake Corum, J.J. McCarthy, Zach Marshall, even gave one to a freshman, and a few others got that initial award. But yeah, poster person is Chris Jenkins.
It's pretty awesome. He's talking and speaking with a lot of confidence himself right now.
Hey, fill me in because I was away, and I only read a little bit. What happened to his suspension?
Nothing. The NCAA leaked it, and then they didn't think that it would stick, or they wanted it to go even further. They just they don't even know what
inept?
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing.
So are they going to come after him again?
Yes, in like 24 after an appeals process.
Oh, for crying out loud!
Right, for crying out loud.
Let it go, man.
You know what is gone? The Tiger season.
No, it's not yet.
I think they were one pitch away. They were one pitch away on Wednesday night. One pitch away on Tuesday night. The Grand Slam just really buried them. I think if they would have beaten the Twins, if they would have swept the Twins, and again, they were one pitch away to be 5 back in the loss column, I think they had a chance.
They're 8 out right now.
They're 7 back in the loss column, and that's what I really look at, the loss column.
Okay. But you got 60-some-odd games left.
I know, but I just don't know if they keep it.
Okay, but listen, you got Cleveland for 4 now. Cleveland
40 left. Yes.
Okay, Cleveland is 4 better than the Tigers
and they're
right
playing
now.
them right
and
now.
And they're playing them for 4.
Right.
Let's see what they do with Cleveland. If Cleveland beats them 3 out of 4, it's over. If they split, they're on the respirator. But if they could sweep them or win 3 out of 4, then we're talking. And they got 2 of the hottest hitters right now in baseball. You got Spencer Torkelson, who had 2 homers last night. He's up to 22 on the year. His OPS last year was like 600. OPS this year is like 760.
Did you see
Riley Green is like 880 OPS. Hit a home run last night, 4 RBI. They're
Kerry
playing.
Carpenter.
Kerry Carpenter's got what, a 12-game hit streak? He's got 15 or 16 home runs.
Did you see what Ben Verlander tweeted out?
I did not.
Ben Verlander tweeted out 2024 Tigers. Riley Green, Kerry Carpenter, Shohei Ohtani, Spencer Torkelson.
How great would that be?
Wouldn't that be something?
Oh, my God. Oh, man.
That's pretty cool.
And how about Justin Verlander?
I think people, regardless of how this year winds up, I think this year's turned out okay.
It has.
I've
been entertained.
You have seen that they have some guys now. They have some guys. They've got the pitchers. They've got Riley Green. Mm-hmm. They've got Kerry Carpenter. They've got Spencer Torkelson. They've got a couple other guys in the Colt Keith.
Yep.
They've got Parker Meadows coming up. They've got the number 2 farm system in all of Major League Baseball. That ranking came out, I think, within the last 24 hours. So A lot of people feel good about this organization moving forward. You're going to have about $40-50 million coming off the books this year. That even if you just spend $40-50 million, heaven forbid, go over that, you could really have maybe even a division favorite next year.
Maybe Max Clark really, really shoots up. And kid plays good, man.
Yeah.
I know Brady always keeps me track of Clark. Oh, Max, get another home run, another grand slam.
No doubt.
By the way, did you see Fernando Tatis steal home?
No.
He stole home. He basically walked home against the Orioles last night.
What an embarrassment. Good, I'm rooting against the Orioles now.
He is unbelievable.
For what they did to Kevin Brown, the announcer.
But KB is back now.
Hey, Tom. He is back. And
better than ever.
Yeah, exactly. Tom, great stuff here today. Want to thank JB. Want to thank Parker. Want to thank Lucas. Want to thank our good guy Brady over here. And don't go anywhere, because coming up at 5 o'clock, it is the show that brings accuracy, humor, weight to the heavyweights. 5 o'clock.
And the chicks dig them.
And the chicks love the heavyweights. Spenny, Easy, these guys got it all. 5-iron golf. Check us out.
We'll see you tomorrow from the golf course.
That's right.
The DMAC Open, whatever they call it.
Bye-bye.
See you.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.